All right, so today is June 28th, 2020. And of course, my goal is to get a car together, built, and get down to the Colorado Springs Airport at TAC. So that's September 19th and 20th. So I've got options, I've got cars, I've got LS motors, I've got a big block if I want to put it together. You know, Vortec 8100, I've got Camaros, I've got a 69 Chevelle wagon. You know, I've got options as far as what I want to build to go to that. I also have a 82 GMC 1500 if I wanted to do it that way, but I've been notching the frame on that one to put it on airbags, so that probably won't be the option. I'm guessing what I'll do is I'll go with a Camaro. I'll go with the 81 Camaro hardtop. So let me show you what I've been doing. I've got old school small blocks. Like I said, actually I have a 305 right down here that I changed the cam in, put new bearings and all that in probably 3 years ago, and it's just been sitting around. So I've got way too many projects, unemployed from coronavirus and all that stuff out of the oil field, so I've got shelves and shelves of parts and stuff, trying to get a business going up off the ground, working on building hot rods and selling them, I guess. Building the cars I want to build, because I really just don't want to deal with people's problems or their sentimental problems on their vehicles. So I just want to build the vehicles that I want to build, show that I can build a quality product, and I can get it out there and have a really nice car. So basically I've got this is one of the 81 Camaros. I stripped the deck lid. I've been working on stripping the hood, working on stripping the front fenders, so get all that body work done. I'm thinking that's the one I'll use because it's a hard top. The other two that I have are T-tops, and I'm not real thrilled about running a T-top racing. I think my goal right now is to run in the 150 and below. Maybe, you know, I don't race, haven't raced, but I want to race. I want to just enjoy life and do what I want to do, you know. So I think that's my goal, is to build the 81 Camaro, which by a VIN number was originally a V6 car. Somebody put a 350 and a 4-speed in it. It was a V6 3-speed car originally. Back here, that's a engine run stand that I'm building, working on to be able to run my engines ahead of time. So my thoughts right now are build the 81, I think it was a Berlinetta Camaro. Build that up, run it as a 4-speed with old school small block, because like I say, I've got the 305 that's sitting right there. I also have a 350 that I put a new cam in. I could tear it apart again, go through it, make sure everything's all right. And then I have a 350 that's 30 over, that's sitting in my station wagon that my father and I built 20 years ago, and used to race it at the drag strip in Oceanside for the hell of it. Everything I got's just 2-bolt main, pretty basic stuff, but you know, I'm thinking just put that in the Camaro and run a 4-speed trans and run under 150. You know, I'm guessing a half mile probably be somewhere between 120, 130-ish, just guessing. But if I could find sponsors, that'd be awesome. And I just kind of want to go through it, so I figure that gives me what, something like 82. Let's see. July and August both have 31 days. That's 62. And it's on the 19th, so it's 18. So that's 70, 80, and then there's like 2 days left in this month. Yeah, so like 82 days to get something together and run it. So I think what I'm going to do is, I've got a few bucks. I'm going to throw in my entry. That way I just kind of seal the fate because it's not refundable. So I'll throw in my entry money, and that'll kind of drive me to get things done. It's not like I don't have parts or anything like that. I already hybridized a 8.8-inch Ford rear end out of a Crown Victoria that's 323 posi. I hybridized it with a 10-bolt in one of my other Camaros, so probably just grab that out of the other Camaro, put it under the one I want to run, and I'll just have to have a drive shaft made that'll fit, that'll handle the power or whatever. Haven't decided, because I could put nitrous or I could put turbo or I could just run it naturally aspirated, but of course all the guys with LS small blocks they'll be running way more power than me, because I'm old iron head and they don't flow like the new stuff. But if I do go LS, I've built a 5.3 already that I could put a turbo on. I could run it turbocharged, and then I've got another aluminum block 5.3. I could put it together, have a spare engine there, so I could have those. If I go to the 8100 big block, I won't have a spare motor, but it's big block power. But the 8100s weren't known for excessive amounts and gobs of power or ease of hot rodding and modifying. So if I do that, it's probably going to cost me more. I have a Schneider racing cam for that one already. It changed my firing order, but basically the same grind as a sloppy stage 2. If I go that route, I think I'll go with a different crank and rods, but that'll be kind of pricey. Be nice to find a sponsor, kind of throw out there kind of a sloppy way of putting together a 8100 at a really high compression ratio, because my idea is that since the heads don't flow and you can't really modify them, and most people don't want to spend the money on Ralar engineering aluminum heads that flow better and all that, would be to just bump the heck out of the compression ratio, because then you're just getting more squeeze on what you can get in the engine to develop your power versus stuffing more in the motor. So if I go that route, it'd probably be somewhere around 14:1 compression, and I'm guessing probably somewhere in the 700 to 800 horse range, naturally aspirated. So that's a possibility, but everything for the 8100 is just way more expensive because there's not a lot of options. And I really don't want to go to Ralar engineering, because that's just, I'm not a professional race team or anything. So unless I can get sponsors, if I can get sponsors to help out, you know, maybe Summit Racing or somebody, then that'd be nice. I also have, if I wanted to go the LS route, if I got sponsored, maybe got some custom made pistons, I do have a really short stroke crank that I could use, and that came from a Daytona prototype. So that's a billet crankshaft from Bryant Racing. Bryant, Sonny Bryant. And that thing is amazing. It's a work of art. But I could use that and some old NASCAR rods, Pankel or Carrillo or something like that, and then custom pistons would have to be made for the piston pin height, because it's only 2.850 stroke, I believe, on that one, or 3.18 stroke something. It's really super short. So if I had custom made pistons, I could rev the heck out of that motor, which means I could gear the hell out of the rear end, man. I could go to like a 488. If I could turn it to 10,000 RPM on the motor, I'd go like a 488 and really rev the heck out of it. And then I might see the 150 or more, you know, if I could just hold it in a gear and go. But we'll see. So that gives me 82 days, so 83 if you count today. I've been working on stripping these parts for about a week, so that'd be like 90 days. So we're looking at 90 days to throw a half-mile car together. And so here's day one of documentation. And the car itself is sitting in the yard at home, so when I get home I'll show you the car.